shadows of the jungle. Benny hadn't been the same since the accident. The fiery crash had taken his wife and young daughter, leaving behind nothing but a charred wreckage of his once perfect life. His friends, hoping to pull him from the abyss of his grief, planned an impromptu trip, a journey to South America to clear his mind and find healing. The idea seemed reckless at first, but Benny barely cared. He let himself be swept along, his mind heavy with memories he couldn't escape. By the time their small plane landed near the edge of the Amazon rainforest, the group, Danny, Claire, Marcus, and Benny, was ready for adventure, though none of them could have imagined what awaited. Their guide led them deep into the jungle, through tangled vines and towering trees. After days of trekking, they stumbled upon something remarkable: an ancient village hidden among the greenery. The locals, clad in traditional garments, greeted them with curious stares, but showed no hostility. The village shaman, an elder with a weathered face and piercing eyes, approached Benny as if sensing the storm within him. Speaking through an interpreter, the shaman offered to help. "The jungle has ways of healing the spirit," he said, his voice like rustling leaves. "But the path can be dangerous." He spoke of a sacred ritual involving ayahuasca, a powerful brew meant to cleanse the soul and connect the drinker with the spirit world. Benny's friends were skeptical, but Benny himself felt a flicker of hope, a desperate need to escape the suffocating weight of his loss. Under the cover of darkness, the shaman led Benny and his friends to a clearing lit by a ring of torches. The air was thick with the scent of herbs and burning wood. The shaman chanted prayers in his ancient tongue, preparing the potion. Benny's heart raced as the shaman handed him the bowl. "Drink," the shaman said. "Face what lies within." Benny hesitated, but his friends encouraged him. They all decided to drink, partly out of solidarity and partly out of curiosity. The liquid was bitter, its taste lingering long after Benny swallowed. At first, the experience was surreal. Benny saw visions of his wife and daughter, their faces illuminated by a warm golden light. He reached for them, but they dissolved into shadows. Suddenly, the warmth turned to cold. The jungle around him twisted and darkened. The torches seemed to flicker and die, leaving only whispers and rustling sounds in the void. His friends saw visions too, but their experiences were different, vivid, dreamlike, and disorienting. They called out to one another, trying to ground themselves in reality. But Benny was unreachable. In his mind, the spirit spoke to him, whispering dark truths. "They blame you. You failed them. They'll never forgive you." The voices grew louder, drowning out his thoughts. Something inside him snapped. When Benny awoke, the line between vision and reality was blurred. He saw his friends as twisted figures, their faces contorted into cruel masks of mockery. They were no longer his companions, but enemies conspiring against him. Driven by paranoia and rage, Benny lashed out. In the chaos of the night, he turned on his friends one by one. Danny, the first to approach him, was struck down without warning. Claire and Marcus tried to run, but the dense jungle became their trap. Benny's anguish-fueled strength was unstoppable, his grief transforming him into something monstrous. When dawn broke, the clearing was eerily silent. The shaman stood at the edge of the blood-soaked ground, his expression grim but unsurprised. He muttered a prayer, lamenting the darkness that had overtaken Benny's soul. Benny was found sitting in the center of the clearing, his hands stained, his eyes empty. He didn't resist when the villagers restrained him, their faces a mixture of pity and fear. The villagers whispered of the man who came seeking healing but left only destruction. Some say the spirits of the jungle had tested Benny and found him unworthy. Others believe his grief had created a darkness too great for the sacred ritual to cleanse. Benny was never seen again, his fate a mystery. The clearing where the ritual took place became taboo, avoided even by the bravest of villagers. In the years that followed, travelers passing through the jungle told stories of a shadowy figure roaming the trees, his anguished cries echoing through the night, a haunting reminder of a man who couldn't escape his own sorrow.